Holy crap, have you seen the prices on booster boxes from the Sword and Shield era? Buckle up those bootstraps because we're going to the f***ing moon. What's going on, guys? This is VMAT. If you do enjoy my channel, please consider subscribing and joining all the fun we have here today. I don't know if this is going to be a fun video for you guys if you're holding a lot of Sword and Shield booster boxes, or if it's going to be a depressing video for people who hate investors in Pokemon. Either way, I'm here reporting the data. I just found this fascinating when I was looking at some of the booster box prices from my personal collection. Yes, I do also collect sealed. I also have a ton of binders. I just love collecting Pokemon in any way possible, whether it is even some of the figures I actually have as well. So I collect pretty much anything Pokemon, but the booster boxes have really caught my attention from the Sword and Shield era lately, and we're going to be discussing that in today's video. There's a ton of buyouts on TCG Player. Maybe you're already aware of that or not. I don't know. This is just fascinating to me because it feels like the same thing that was happening in the Sun and Moon era and all those booster boxes when they had that massive pump. We're going to be seeing that potentially now with the Sword and Shield era, though I don't think we're going to be seeing it quite as aggressively because a lot of that was also due to like Logan Paul and other influencers and stuff like that. And I don't think Pokemon is at those heights quite right now. Maybe, who knows, in the future we might see something similar to that happen, but right now we're going to be talking about these Sword and Shield era booster boxes, and some of them have been on the rise quietly. Some, it feels like almost overnight, has just skyrocketed into the stratosphere. But why don't we talk first about one box that we all know is worth a lot of money from the Sword and Shield era, and that is the Evolving Skies booster box. It really has been on the rise in the past week and a half. You know, it basically went just in the past week or so from like $587 to all the way to $642.25. It's actually nearing, this is crazy, it's actually nearing $700. This product is like, what, just a little over 2 years old? I mean, most of the people right now, like the current listed price, people are already trying to get it up to $800. The listed median price is $875. So obviously there is a bit of a push and pull right now for people who are trying to buy it or buy it out on TCG Player, and then there's the people who are holding it, and they're steadily holding it high, close to 900. So, you know, if a few sales come in, if a few sales trickle in the next few days, it could easily break $700 for its market price, which is actually insane. Next up here, we have Battle Styles. You know, things are going crazy when even Battle Styles, which is like the most hated Sword and Shield set, is actually going up. And a lot of the boxes that we are talking about today, actually all of them, are really the boxes that had the alternate arts. I feel like once Pokemon shifted more towards the alternate arts during the Sword and Shield era, those are the boxes that really are getting bought out on TCG Player, and all the collectors and investors are keeping an eye on. So right now it's sitting at $109.04. As you can see in the last week or so, it's gained a few dollars, not much. You know, there's a few other boxes on this list that are going to be a little more surprising than that. Chilling Rain, that is one of the boxes. Holy cow, look at that dip. So everyone was like, well, it's over, okay? People have stopped buying it out. It went down to just below 170, and now it's sitting at $179.56. And the listed median price right now is $222.85. So there's definitely a bit of a push and pull again with a lot of these Sword and Shield boxes, as you're going to see. And the next one is the most wild. That's the one that I just was like, what? Are you kidding me? I can't believe how expensive this box is right now. It's Fusion Strike, a set that I've had horrible luck with when it comes to opening videos. If you guys want to see any of my Fusion Strike videos, check them out down below in the opening videos. But Fusion Strike, it's absolutely wild. It's just under $210 right now, and a lot of this movement, as you can see here, was in the past like week and a half. From March 11th, it went from just under $180 and is now sitting at $208.31. The listed median price right now is almost $250, with it being $249.95. So why don't we just call it $250? So obviously, again, another bit of a push and pull right here between the people who are listing it and the people who are buying it. But this is one of those sets that has a lot of great alternate arts. You have Gengar, one of the hardest to pull alternate arts in the Sword and Shield era. Then you also have Mew, and you have Espeon. It's a beautiful set, and I'm actually surprised that it took so long to take off, if I'm being quite honest. It's a great set, same as Chilling Rain, but I think if I was going to compare Chilling Rain, Battle Styles, and Fusion Strike, which are all around that same block, I would say Fusion Strike's probably the best one from that. And it's one of those sets I wish I would have bought more of. I'm actually kind of shooting myself in the foot. Though I personally didn't like it from the pull rate perspective, I do appreciate the alternate arts and the beautiful artwork in that set, even though I was unlucky and I didn't actually pull a lot of it. Next up here is Brilliant Stars. Brilliant Stars, This is surprising to me. Brilliant Stars, I think, is probably one of the most underrated sets in the Sword and Shield era, and it really hasn't been doing. It hasn't seen the same buyouts in the past few weeks as some of the other Sword and Shield sets. And this one has Arceus. It's got obviously the really good Charizard artwork in it as well, so kind of surprising to see that. But as you can see here, listed median price is $179.97, so who knows, maybe in the next few weeks we might also see this box pumping as well. Astral Radiance right here, $139.15. This one actually has been going up as well in the past few weeks. It went from about $137 to $139.15. Nothing crazy, but it has moved over $2. It's sitting at $152 right now for its median price. So again, a little bit of a push and pull here. Lost Origin. This is one that isn't surprising to anyone at all. Giratina perhaps is the most difficult alternate art to pull in the entire Sword and Shield era, and I think just that card alone, and there's other good cards in Lost Origin, but that card alone I feel like could really drive this box up in price. It's currently sitting at $160.31. And a lot of that movement, as you can see here, is in the past few weeks, went from like $150 to $160. So it's moved up by about $10 in like a week and a half or so. Listed median price, though, is kind of shocking, $200. So if we see a few sales in the $200 department, it could really push this price up to actually over $170, which wouldn't surprise me because this is one box that I can see easily going up way more than $160. And obviously, it's going to move regardless. It's such an old box at this point now, even though it's like later in the Sword and Shield era. But if you compare it in the grand scheme of things, now that we're in the Scarlet and Violet era, I can see this definitely going up in price at about $170 in a few weeks if we keep seeing the same surge and demand for these Sword and Shield boxes as we've been seeing in the past few weeks, which is kind of wild, especially with Fusion Strike and Chilling Reign. The last box I wanted to show you guys was Silver Tempest. Silver Tempest, another set with great alternate arts. Obviously, Lugia being the biggest chase card in that set, but it's currently sitting at $137.79, and its listed median price is just under $150. Again, this one's had a lot of movement in the past few weeks. It went from just under $135 to about $137.79. So a lot of that was in the past 2 weeks. So it hasn't moved very dramatically. I think the one box that is really getting the most attention from buyers, collectors, and investors, and also just people on YouTube, is probably the movement on Fusion Strike. That one has to be by far the most shocking, but regardless, it looks like there's a lot of positive movement from all of the alternate art type of booster boxes and sets from the Sword and Shield era, and I just find it fascinating. And a part of me is like, dang, I feel like I missed out. I missed the window on a lot of these boxes, but I do have quite a decent collection of Sword and Shield boxes. But I still, when I see this, it definitely feels like we're never going to see cheap Sword and Shield boxes ever again. I feel like this is it, and this window is kind of closing, and now maybe we'll see some movement on the Scarlet and Violet boxes, but I think it's going to take a while for those boxes to really see any like upward movement, since it's obviously still in print and they're pretty new. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.